I wasn't planning to tell this story, not because I'm scared of being judged or not believed. Honestly, I hope no one believes me, because if what I'm about to tell you is true, and I know it is, then nothing in your life is really safe. Not your home, not your body, not even your mind. It started when I bought a house in northern Pennsylvania. Quiet little town, population under 2,000. The kind of place where the streets don't even have sidewalks and people wave when they drive past, even if they don't know you. I was looking for a fresh start. After a messy breakup, job burnout, and years of city noise gnawing at my brain, the stillness here felt like salvation. The house was built in 1931. Brick foundation, tall windows, a large oak in the backyard that had been there long before any of us. I got it for cheap, way cheaper than I should have looking back now. But I chalked it up to being a fixer-upper in a forgotten zip code. The first night I slept there, I lay on a mattress on the floor, surrounded by unopened boxes. I remember thinking how quiet everything was. Not peaceful quiet, not the kind of quiet that helps you sleep. This was wrong quiet, like something was holding its breath. At around 2:13 a.m., I heard it. Footsteps, not upstairs, not outside, from the basement. I froze. My first thought was, it's an animal, raccoon, maybe. The place had been unoccupied for years, but I knew what I heard. These were deliberate, slow, human footsteps, barefoot by the sound of it, the soft slap of skin on concrete. I didn't go down there that night, just lay there, ears straining, barely breathing. Eventually, the sound stopped. I must have passed out from exhaustion. The next morning, I convinced myself I'd imagined it. Sleep deprivation, stress, old pipes, old houses make noises, right? That was my first mistake, explaining it away. The following days were uneventful. I settled in, painted walls, got Wi-Fi installed, even met a few neighbors, Mrs. Howard from across the street, who baked me lemon squares, and a quiet guy named Nate who worked at the auto shop and always smelled like grease and cigarettes. The basement stayed untouched. I didn't even open the door. It wasn't that I was scared exactly, just uneasy, like something in me knew to leave it alone. But the noises came back, not every night, just enough to keep me on edge, always around 2 a.m., always soft but unmistakable. Footsteps, and sometimes a dragging sound, like fabric or rope being pulled across the floor. One morning, I found my keys missing. I tore the house apart looking for them, finally gave up and used the spare. That night, I found the original set on the basement stairs, lying there like someone had placed them gently. That was when I started locking my bedroom door at night. Weeks passed, the noises got bolder, doors creaked open, lights flickered. Once I woke up and all the kitchen chairs were turned facing the wall. But the worst was the dreams. They always started the same. I'm lying in bed and I hear the basement door creak open. Footsteps, closer. Then the sound of breathing, right next to me. I turn over and there's a man crouched beside my bed. His skin is gray and stretched tight over his face, eyes wide, unblinking. And he whispers, "You forgot to lock the door." I'd wake up drenched in sweat, pulse hammering. But what chilled me wasn't the dream. It was that every time the basement door was open in the morning, I finally bought a security camera. Just one. I aimed it at the basement door from the living room. It recorded at night and uploaded footage to a cloud app. I didn't expect much. Probably just needed reassurance. The first few nights, nothing. Just me pacing, lights flicking on when I went to the bathroom. Then on the fourth night, at exactly 2:16 a.m., something stepped into frame. A man, barefoot, shirtless, pale skin. He walked past the camera slowly, deliberately, his head slightly tilted like he was listening to something. And then, as if he knew where the camera was, he turned and looked directly into the lens. I swear to God. He smiled. I called the police. They came, took my statement, reviewed the footage, searched the house top to bottom, including the basement. They found nothing. No signs of forced entry, no fingerprints, not even a footprint. I showed them the video again. You know what they said? Probably a glitch, compression artifact. These things can play tricks on you. A glitch. A glitch smiled at my camera. I changed all the locks, installed deadbolts, bought more cameras. 4 this time. One in the hallway, one facing the basement door, one outside, and one I hid in the basement. I had to go down there to set it up. The air was heavy, wet. The walls were stained with age and something darker in the corners. In the back, behind some old shelves, I found a section of the wall that sounded hollow. I tapped. Wood behind brick. A hidden room. I didn't open it. Not yet. The camera worked. I checked the feed obsessively. Night 1, nothing. Night 2, faint movement in the dark. Hard to say if it was dust or something else. Night 3. At 2:13 a.m., the man appeared again. This time in the basement. He stepped into frame from the left, walked to the far wall, and disappeared. Vanished, mid-step, as if swallowed by shadow. Then, a full minute later, another camera, the one in the hallway, picked up movement. A door opening. My bedroom door. I didn't sleep that night. I sat in my closet with a knife until the sun came up. I started researching the house, local archives, newspaper clippings, property records. And that's when I found it. In 1992, a boy named Daniel Hurley went missing from this exact house. 11 years old, disappeared from his bed. Police suspected a runaway, but the family insisted he'd never leave. No leads. Case cold. Digging deeper, I found rumors, whispered stories from older residents, that the Hurleys had a son with severe mental illness, that he lived in the basement, that he went missing, not Daniel. But no record of a second child existed. Mrs. Howard, my sweet neighbor with the lemon squares, confirmed it in a whisper over coffee. They kept him locked down there, said he was dangerous, that he talked to things that weren't there. When he vanished, no one was surprised, but the house hasn't been right since. I decided to open the wall. I waited until noon on a sunny day, invited Nate, the mechanic, over for help. Told him I thought there was extra storage behind the shelves. We removed the boards. Behind it was a tiny room, 6 feet by 4, low ceiling, mold on the walls. Inside were A stained mattress, dozens of empty food cans, a worn cassette player, and photos. Photos of me, sleeping, eating, sitting at my desk, all taken from inside the house. Nate stared, mouth open. Jesus, man, what the hell? I couldn't answer. My mouth had gone dry. The police came, again, took everything, promised to analyze it, but no matches came up, no fingerprints, no DNA, nothing. They looked at me differently now, like I was either crazy or hiding something. I didn't care. I moved out that night, left the furniture, the cameras, everything. I got a studio apartment in Pittsburgh, concrete, noisy, anonymous. Just what I needed. For a while, I thought I was free. Until one night, 2 months later, I woke up at 2:13 a.m. The exact time. Heart pounding, room freezing. On my kitchen table, I found a photograph. It was me, sleeping, in my new apartment. On the back, written in pencil, "You sealed the basement." But I'm not in the basement anymore. Since then, it's gotten worse. I hear scratching under the floorboards, see movement in reflections that doesn't match mine. Sometimes I wake up and my hands are dirty, like I've been digging. Once I woke up on the floor with a knife in my hand and no memory of how I got there. I stopped seeing people, stopped working. I live in a loop of locked doors and cold sweats. I think he's still with me, not following me, inside me. And maybe he always was. Maybe the man in the basement was never under the house. Maybe the basement was never a place. Maybe the basement is a part of the mind, a dark corner you don't go into. And one night, I opened the door. If you're listening to this, don't look at the clock. If it's 2:13 a.m., whatever you do, don't go check the basement.